Today we're going to be demonstrating making a potato, spinach, and artichoke filling for calzones. We are going to utilize some leftover mashed potatoes or chilled mashed potatoes, and we're going to incorporate our STOUFFERS Spinach and Artichoke Dip. The spinach and artichoke dip will be folded into the chilled mashed potatoes to incorporate the spinach so it's distributed evenly through the potato. I'm going to add some shredded mozzarella cheese, and then I'm going to stir this into the dip so that the cheese is evenly distributed. This is the cheese for the filling that will be inside the calzone. Next, we are going to season with a little salt and pepper. Here I'm adding a little cracked pepper and a pinch of salt, folding in the seasoning into the mixture so that it's evenly distributed. Now we are ready to stuff our calzones. We're going to demonstrate two styles of calzones here. One more traditional calzone. A calzone is Italian for small pocket. I have some pre-prepared pizza dough that I've cut into a round. I'm going to season the board with a little flour and just extend out my little dough that's already been pre-rolled here. The objective here is to put a tablespoon or a little bit more of filling into the center of the dough. I don't want to have too much filling here on the dough because I don't want it to bake outside of the dough. I'm going to fold the dough over the filling, making sure that there's no filling outside the edges, and just by pinching with our fingers, we want to crimp the edges of the dough. This way, this crimping will help create a good seal for it, and making sure that the filling stays inside the pizza dough. As well, I'm going to demonstrate an oblong or strudel style calzone by folding out a large square of pizza dough. This pizza dough would be utilized more for a banquet style or carving station calzone. I'm going to make sure that the edges are out there. There's no holes in the dough. Pat it off a little bit. Even brush off a little bit of flour. All right, now it's time for the filling. Down the center of this dough, I'm going to add some large portions of filling. Don't be too shy because this is going to be a large serving. It will bake into it, and we're going to make sure that it's well wrapped. So we want to have a nice round cylindrical shape. As you can see, I'm not being shy with the filling, making sure that it's nice and full. Okay, it's time to start to get ready to wrap. As you can see, it's a good round shape. Taking the dough, I'm going to fold the dough over the filling, making sure that it's nice and tight to start. I'm going to fold the corner edges in so that there's no gaps and that the filling cannot flow outside the edges. Most importantly, we want to make sure that the seam of this filling is down on the bottom of the calzone. Now we're getting close to ready to put it on our tray. Carefully lift it, put it on a piece of parchment paper, give it some good shape, and then it's going to be ready to be egg washed. Here you can see both style calzones. The last step of this process, we are going to egg wash the dough. The egg wash is made up of a cracked egg and a little bit of water. You can put a little bit of milk if you like a little more browning color, but for this process, we're just going to use egg and water. Evenly distribute the egg wash, making sure that you don't oversaturate it and that you've given a good brushing over all the surfaces. The last process of this, I'm going to crack a little fresh ground pepper over top of the dough, or if you choose, you can shred Parmesan cheese over top of this crust to give a chestering. The egg wash will allow the pepper or the cheese to adhere to the top of the crust. The calzones are out of the oven. As you can see, there's a nice golden hue over top of all these calzones, and they are ready to be served. I've cooked these calzones at 400 degrees for approximately 25 minutes. I'm going to serve these calzones with two sauces. One is our Stouffer's marinara sauce. Our other is our Stouffer's Alfredo sauce. These small calzones are wonderful for sharing. They can be served as an appetizer or as a shared entree. Our large calzone. It's time to plate. Carefully remove the calzone to the cutting board and prepare for it to be cut. I prefer to cut the calzone on an angle. It presents a much nicer presentation. I'm cutting the calzone approximately 1.5 inches thick and 4 ounces in weight. I will slice 3 slices and put it on the plate so that we can show you a great presentation. I'm going to be using our Stouffer's marinara sauce and our Stouffer's Alfredo sauce for this presentation. Here's the last piece with our Stouffer's marinara sauce. What a beautiful presentation.